Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming. I don't know if it's early or not. For me, 4 o'clock morning is early, but relatively early morning. My name is Dr. Taheri, and I came yesterday from very far distance. I came from Vancouver. And I never been in this university. I heard lots of good things about your university, and I have had first-hand information and experience how good you are. So I have to give you a little bit of kind of like a change of the plan. This is supposedly to be a long day, 6 modules, morning to the lunch, 1 o'clock, 1 hour break, and then we do the afternoon session. But in a fly, we had to change the plan because there are lots of you are, not instructor, you are graduate students, and we modify that to 2 talks in the morning. So the first talk will be about, okay, you learn a lot. Doesn't matter what discipline you are. This is called hard skills. But what about the other skills, soft skills that you need to nail a job, to become a successful person, to be a prominent member of your community, country, globally? So that would be the bulk of the talk. Is very provocative. And then maybe a few minutes break, and then I have arranged a talk about AI. It's almost the hottest topic of the, every table. About the past, about the present, about the future, and particularly about the application of AI in higher education. I'm very happy that you are coming, but there will be some overlap, unfortunately, and I have to apologize. Again, that wasn't the plan, but maybe just listen to some music for the first half an hour of the next, module we have on the afternoon. It's completely different for the purpose of mostly for educators. I always start by telling you a little bit about UBC. Guys, have you heard about UBC? Anyone? Only you? The University of British Columbia. So I'm from there. I've been there for almost 2 decades. I will go talk a little bit about myself in a later time. We call it a place of mind, and there's a reason for it. There are lots of news about UBC these days. There are 2 beautiful campuses, but let's just talk about the UBC alone. It's over 100 years old. It's one of the oldest universities in North America. It has about 50,000 students. One of the most important things is about the research-oriented mentality of the faculties and the researchers there. I don't know whether you have seen or not. This is a ranking, a number. You have Shanghai ranking. You have other rankings. UBC ranked roughly around top 20 to top 30 in the world. But I don't care about that much. Ranking changes, go up, down, depends on the budget. What I mostly care is this. So UBC ranked number 1 in the world when it comes to the industry and infrastructures. Number 3 in the world when it comes to climate change. Vancouver itself is one of the top 5 cities and communities. Ranked number 5 when it comes to marine biology and life below the water. Number 6 in responsible consumption and production. Number 7 in the life on the land. So there is a reason for all these rankings because the number of the research, publications, citations, books, and how much we acquired grant. Also, UBC is number 1 in North America as far as the international students concerned. So we got almost 20,000. This is the most updated just before I came. I'm a senator also at UBC, and I got this information from registrar office. So roughly around 20,000 international students from 140 countries. And we are very proud that we are the house of so many brilliant minds from all over the world. We have 2 beautiful campuses, one in Vancouver, and the other one is in Okanagan. So I don't know whether you heard about Okanagan. They call it the Silicon Valley of the North. Let's watch this quick video. Well, actually, the sound is coming from here. It's not connected to the sound. The audio is not connected to the system. The audio is coming from my computer. It's coming from the computer. You cannot from two places. HDMI. Maybe. Well, I mean, yesterday, today, you know, today. It is HDMI from one source. That's from there, not from this. Do anything? Maybe just move there or something. Sorry for the audio system glitch. Okanagan, it's one of the central locations in Canada. It's known to be one of the most beautiful weather. We have ski resources, two of them. We have lake. We have the best mountain climbing site and tracks. I really would like one day you come and visit. So some of these pictures, they're all real pictures. They're not animation or AI. They're really breathtaking. There are lots of events, competitions in winter and summer, including water sport. The largest suspended bridge, 800 meters, is located in Okanagan. In fact, I took about 50 Chinese students 2019 when they came to Okanagan for a summer camp, and they loved it. I don't know whether you drink wine or not, but Okanagan is known to be the mother of North America wineries. There are some very unique wine that only is being produced globally in this region. I have lots of pictures, but I'm not going to, make you tired. But I want to create that desire for you. If you get a chance to come and visit us, we would love to see you. Here is some short video about the Okanagan campus. Truly often the life journey starts with a question. You have to be able to ask the right question, and the answer for that question defines what direction you will go. We are relatively new compared with the other campus. We are about 20 years old, but it's one of the most advanced technologically because it's new and they applied all the top facilities. We have the best lecture halls. It's somewhere that, if you ever get a chance to come, you will enjoy. Not that your university also is a wonderful place to study. As far as the food is concerned, I've got about 10 different restaurants, Chinese, Japanese, Mexicans. So there is no lack of getting some kind of entertainment and food. But of course, the main reason is that you come to expand your academic horizon. And we got the brand new, almost brand new gymnasium, state-of-art, Olympic-size courts, and every year they spend a couple of $1 million to renew all the machines. Good mind is in a good body, so we promote both of them equally. But one time, I mentioned that, and I'm going to repeat that. Where is the heart of a home, especially for ladies? Where is the heart of a home? It's a kitchen. Or you ask any housewife, kitchen. A heart of a university is the library. And I asked my dear colleague, show me later on the lab, but I want to see the library. And I was impressed with your library. UBC has one of the best world-class library, one of number one perhaps in North America. We got roughly around 8 million physical and digital books, articles, over almost 1 million maps, videos, 3.6 million ebooks, and these are all at the grace of students that come 24 hours. They can access this abundant amount of information. So I'm from School of Engineering. That's my trade. I'll give you a little bit of story behind. Started 2005. We are really a project-based learning advocate. We believe that the students learn by doing, not by watching. We force them to use their knowledge, to apply their knowledge, to make sure that this knowledge will be used when they get a job. We have 2 common years. That's very unique. It's good to build the foundation, and then in 3rd year, they can decide you want to be electrical, mechanical, civil, manufacturing, or computer science. We do also planning to bring bioengineering, which is my close area. We have over 2,000 students in our engineering and over 200 faculty members. A short video actually about the engineering.
We are living in a time where the problems are very complicated, and what we see when we try to solve the problems we see from our disagreements. This is the kind of culture we have created through our engineering education, as well as the way we are structured in our school. We don't have departments, we have programs, and the professors interact with each other depending on that kind of a problem they are asked to solve.
Manufacturing engineering is a combination of different technologies, sciences. We need to train our students in all basic mechanical systems, electrical systems, software programming, and software engineering, so that they can use the existing technologies to serve the manufacturing sector.
Civil engineering is the discipline that creates harmony among people, nature, and technology.
Electrical engineering is concerned with design and operation of the electrical system.
Mechanical engineering is a branch of engineering which deals with design and manufacturing things starting from simple single part to rather complex and intricate mechanism and devices. First 2 years are designed in a way where students have an opportunity to interact with various disciplines. We take a lot of pride in the way we offer our program, which is design focused, problem-based learning, and project-based learning.
In the 2nd year, we have another big design which is very mechanical engineering oriented, and that is our hovercraft competition. Students from different disciplines, mechanical, electrical, civil, they get together, they design a hovercraft, and then they compete. And finally, last year, we had have industry-based council project in which the companies who have problems, real issues, they come to our school and our mechanical engineering student with other disciplines, electrical and civil, they get together and they design.
The School of Engineering has a UBC brand, and we are in a small place where students have an opportunity to interact very closely with the professors and with smaller class sizes. We have gathered high quality researchers and professors which ensure that the quality of education and the quality of training provided to the student is world class. We are UBC in a small frame. This is the kind of an opportunity I think for undergrad students is extremely important to having more opportunity to interact with the professors and getting the high quality education.
The gentleman is now a provost. He used to be the director and associate dean, but now is the provost of our campus. Very good friend of mine, Professor Rehan Siddiq. Some statistics. So we do send our students in co-op, and almost every single of them, they will get a job. We will talk about that later on. Some of them, mostly they stay within BC. Some of them, they travel far abroad, other cities. But we really promote the fact that our graduates have no problem to get a job. And we have fulfilled our promises that when they come to UBC, we equip them with the knowledge, integrity, soft skills that they can land a job. Here are some research areas that we really would like to promote. I'm not going to go through all of them. You can read through. But if you are interested in any of these areas, later on I would share my contact, and we can put you through with the right people. Even you are faculties or you are graduate students, or you want to become a graduate student, you want to do a PhD. So this would be an area that you can perhaps focus on. I maybe pause for about 30 seconds. You can read perhaps. I belong to mostly this area, and this is my perhaps specialties. Let me talk a little bit about myself. So I joined UBC in 2006. I'm a full professor since 2017. I offer over 100 courses, over 5,000 hours of lectures. I not only in North America, in Europe, and in Far East. Over 20 different subjects, but mostly my area of expertise, material science, advanced material science, first year and fourth year engineering design and design thinking. I taught over 22,000 students. In fact, every year I have to submit my progress report. The last count was 21,895 students I taught during the last 20 years. My classes are as small as 200, as large as 600. I do teach. I do teach graduate, but it's a direct study. But usually the classes are about 200, 300, 400. So it's huge. I also offer, since 2015, I love teaching, and I will talk about that later. But I thought that, well, if I teach one student would benefit. But what if I help a faculty, a professor, a teacher, and he or she can teach maybe thousands of students? That's why my passion is go around the world and offer workshops, talks, seminars. And I don't teach other professors. I share my experience, and I would like they share their experience. Always is a kind of mutual exchanging of ideas. Design thinking, sustainable design, smart materials are my cup of tea. And as far as the research, I do corrosion, coating, biomechanics, wearable devices, and this we are working on a device which is to statically help patient with Parkinson. So it's pretty advanced. Again, I'm not dragging so much. I got awards here and there. I'm sure you know everyone has that. I got the Best Teacher of the Year award among 4,000 other professors at UBC. But what I'm very proud is that I was the founder of Makerspace.
This equipment does not make this place Makerspace. People like you will make it Makerspace. Art students, management, education. The beauty of this place is people with different expertise that come to share their knowledge. No matter what area you are, you have to develop the problem solving skills. And this is what we have. foster and promote.
Allow me to rephrase. I was one of the co-founder, my colleague who's from Stanford University, Susan Creighton. Now she is retired. She was also helping me to build the makerspace in our campus. Pedagogy is my passion. I love teaching, and I'm very proud that I have been in this area.
Design is a process of problem solving, and we love to promote the attitude of problem solving among our engineering students. They learn lots of theoretic, but the engineering is
About
the application.
7-8 years ago, yeah.
These science and technology into work. There's no meaning behind it. This year, our first design project revolved around redesigning closing donation bins. We asked the students to think on this challenging task and come up with new and innovative design in order to stop people getting hurt by these bins.
Coming from no background in design or anything like that, going into a program that is very heavy in designing and drawing and solving problems that are faced on the road right now in our communities. It was really interesting to dive into problems and use what we've learned in class to apply it to our actual project.
For my group, when we were first brainstorming, we had a whiteboard and a marker, and we said, okay, anything's possible. Let's just get all of our ideas out, and then from this huge list of ideas, we'll pick out different parts that work well together. We had some really crazy, abstract ideas that were terribly technologically advanced, and then we also had some ideas that were just impractical. But from this crazy list of ideas we had, we were able to pull out something that's hopefully going to work.
Being a first-year engineering student, it's really interesting that we get to go out and solve things that are affecting people's lives right now.
Every groups that are working on this project has taken this project very seriously. They know the result of their work will be directly impact the community. I am very hopeful and positive that perhaps one of the groups or a combination of two groups may come with a very innovative design that will actually revolutionize the existing several hundred donation bins all over Canada.
Let me give you a little background about this particular project. So obviously I taught many of these courses. These were first-year, first-term students, right from high school. Zero background in knowledge, design, CAD, CAM, and so on. And through the course of 13 weeks, they went through a transformation, a journey. The project itself was interesting. I'm sure you also have perhaps here. So if you have second-hand clothes, and when you are in recycling business, clothing is one of the worst because it has metal, has plastic, has synthetic, has natural fabrics. And then you want to recycle this, is extremely difficult. Instead, they created lots of bins, and then you just put your clothes in the bin. Obviously, it's a good thing to do. There are about 300 job positions helping people come, and then they gather that, sort it out, clean it, and resell it. Theoretically, it's very good. It's good for community. It's good for poor people. It's good to make money. But unfortunately, there was a problem. Since 2005, 15 people got killed by this. So sometimes you feel cold, minus 30, 40. You try to access some clothes from there, and then you got dropped inside. And then that's like a death trap. They have a system. It shot itself. So lots of people get hurt. When they are halfway through, that thing shut down and then put lots of pressure on their chest, compress their lung, and are in, kind of like an upside down position. They die within 3 minutes. So it happens, and then I thought this is a good project. Let's give it to my students. People say, you're crazy, first-year students can't do it. I say, trust them. They will come up with a solution. And they did. I also gave it to my fourth-year students to modify the first-year, the design. So this actually made the headline news. I show you this video.
So the they provide a small gap between inside. This promotes two problems. One, if someone was truly motivated, they could climb inside there. And it also lets you see the inner context, which encourages theft. This past year, there was a woman found in Vancouver stuck inside one of these clothing donation bins. She was actually dead on the seat. But while this is still illegal, she was cold, she needed clothes, and so we feel that a donation bin should not pose these threats or dangers to anyone in our society. That's why we have a solution. Our bin operates using a wheel that sits on a horizontal axis. It is attached to a ratchet system, so as you move along, you can't go back the other way. As it rotates around, it goes along, travels along this plane here, and then it's free to drop in. So, actually, I have a little clothing donation here that's going to go in the bin. I'm going to put it in the bin here, rotate it around, follow it here, and then bam, it's donated. The key safety feature that this bin addresses is the fact that the old bins let you have a little gap to climb into. Now with this, because it's circular in the back, only get inserted into the bin towards the back, this will ensure that no one is going to be able to easily climb into this bin. Now in regards to theft, if someone were to try to steal a bag that was only half put in, they can't rotate it back because this is on a ratchet system. The Lighthouse, it's time to illuminate the future of clothing donations.
So first-year students, they made the headline news. Over 15 million hits they had. They were all over North America as far as the news is concerned. You know, global TV, CBC, NBC. I got like hundreds of interviews, but I told that I'm just a coach. They are the champion, and they should get the credit. That was one of the interesting projects. I have one more video, and then we move on. This is the project during the COVID. Again, they said, well, let's shut down everything. There's COVID. They can't do it. I said, no, we are not going to shut down anything. It's COVID. That's okay. Let's have secure, as far as the hygiene is concerned. But this is the project they came up with.
APSA 171 CAD-CAM is offered to first-year, first-term students. Students with basically no or very little knowledge in design thinking, and through the course of 13 weeks, we make them familiar with the important aspect of a design cycle.
Being able to come into first year engineering and immediately be able to take your ideas and your imagination, bring it to reality is really cool. It really opens your eyes to what you're going to be able to do with the rest of your degree.
This course is important because we ask students to tackle impactful projects driven from community. This year, we had two interesting topics. One was the wildfire, and the other theme was COVID-19.
Our project is a vaccine card scanner designed to be an entry of retail spaces and restaurants. The vaccine card scanner will identify someone who's vaccinated and allow entry to place of business, and those who are not vaccinated obviously won't let you in.
The project we're working on is a mobile briefcase of sorts that will be able to carry 4 fire hoses.
Every year, students, they come up with amazing ideas.
It's a bit overwhelming in first year to already do something so important.
And I think that experience in first year, being handed the tools and how to use them in your first semester, really means that the rest of your degree is endless possibilities, really.
So when we give a chance, they would accomplish. And I would talk about later on in my second next talk, the module about project-based learning. I'll go to more details. Last but not least, I think we all live in a global village. I mean, you are from Taiwan, I'm from Canada, from other places. We live in a place that whatever I do, even in 10,000 miles, perhaps affect your life in a good or bad way. So I believe in global citizenship, and I always promote that among my students, but I like always to practice what I preach. I have to walk the talk. So I always very proactively help people that they are affected by different crises. 2 years ago, I went to a war zone, Republic of Moldova and Ukraine and Romania, and I built 6 maker spaces. I got some funding, and this is only for children, like primary schools. That's where I like to address. And also I help a group of people with their other needs. Again, they always wanted me to the news. This year, actually, just about a month ago, I came back from my Eastern Europe, Ukraine, Romania, and Moldova again. And I mean, the situation there is horrible. There are 500,000 people only in one small city that it has 700,000 people. Imagine you double the size of the city within a month. Everything is in the verge of collapse. So I went there, again, I like to pursue education in a way. I got them 3D printer and I helped them to get educated. Also brought them tons of toys during the Christmas. It was a very rewarding experience. And these are the one my students at UBC, they made them for them. See the Ukrainian flag dragon. So they're all 3D printed, created by my students for them. It's very kind of like a personalized. And the last thing I want to show you is that in 2019, I told you I brought a group of students from NPU, and in a matter of 4 weeks, they worked so hard in my lab, they came up with an interesting idea for a new heart valve generation. And they also made the news. So it's not about Chinese or Japanese or Canadian or any others. If you put the students in a right environment, they can grow. So you have to create that culture. And when the culture is created, students have no way to go one way, and that's going up. So any question, by the way, so far about UBC, about me? I mean, you can ask me later on. But let's talk about the main topic of this gathering. So obviously, 21st century skills that you do really need to build your future career. I see that we have a very diverse, actually, gathering here. Gender balance, graduate, undergrad. We have other ones, yeah? So I want to ask you the question, why? Why what? Why? Why actually the students come to university? Seems a stupid question, but it's an important question. Why you guys are here? I mean, tell me, why you are here? Mara, why you are in university?
To learn new technology.
To learn. Is learning good?
Yes.
We talk about that. What else? Why you are here? Bruce, why are you here?
Improve my professional.
To improve your professional skills. Okay? Why are you here?
To improve my professional
Skills, okay.
Earn money.
Earn money. I like that one. Hey, he's an honest man. Earning money. Everyone likes to earn money. Well, it's a very fundamental question. And we as educator, if we don't know the answer, we are on the wrong track. Because if I don't know the answer why you are here, then I can't help you. If I'm saying that if your car is broken and I'm a mechanic, you come to me to fix it, I have to know what is wrong with the car. So about 6 years ago in UK, they asked this question from 20,000 college students. Why you are here? Why you are here? Why you are here? And they came with these answers. Answer 1, I love study. I love Dr. Taheri's class, come at 8 o'clock, give us surprise quizzes, very hard midterm, even harder final. I love it, love it, love it. Obviously, that wasn't the answer. Some people said that, but very small percentage. I want to also get a quote from a brilliant actress, Natalie Portman, Oscar winner, 2024, Black Swan, and she said, I don't love studying. I hate studying. I like learning. Learning is beautiful. Wait a minute. I'm kind of confused. Studying, learning, aren't the same? You're saying when you study, you learn, right? You learn, you need to study. Is that correct? Anyone? Is the learning and the studying the same? Why not?
I mean, it's not the same. Just like studying is like you learn something for maybe in the classroom or something, but learning it's not only in the classroom, but it's also it can be something else.
That's good.
Or
That's interesting. That's an interesting comment. I can study logarithm table. You know logarithm table? Math? Billions of numbers. I can study. I become a machine. What use is that? I study the logarithm table, memorize hundreds of thousands of numbers, but has zero value. In fact, you can do lots of study with zero learning. Although you cannot do lots of learning with zero study, but you can minimize your study to maximize your learning. And that is your job as a student. That is my job as a professor or instructor. So that's important. How many of you guys know how to drive? How many learn how to drive by reading a book? It's not possible. You cannot. You have to read some basic for passing the knowledge test, but you can read a book to know how to drive. It's an experience. It's a human-centered experience. You have to get involved. You have to get all your senses involved. So I like this. Now, you want to say you want to learn or study. Well, training is good only if you learn something. But is learning good alone? No. What is the point of I learn how to drive when in my country there is no road? There is no possibility to drive. What is the point of I learn how to swim when I'm living in the middle of a Sahara? So learning is good only if it improves your performance. You learn how to drive, and then you go and see your grandma in a very far village to create this bonding. That's good. That learning helps you. So remember, studying, training is good when you learn something. Learning is good when you apply it. And applying is good when you become a better person. I can study to create, I'm just saying that, to become a cyber security theft. Steal people's mind. That's not good. That's counterproductive. I'm not being a good member of society. So that's one part, talk about the answer of first question group that I love a study. Next. Lots of people said, hey, I don't know why I'm here. I mean, everyone else is here. My brother Jack was here. My cousin Jane is here. I'm just following everyone else. Well, that's not a bad answer, because when you are lost completely, often you better follow everyone else. The chances that the crowd are right is higher. But that's not the reason, main reason. Lots of people, especially in Asia, I do for my parents. My parents want me to be a doctor, to be an engineer. I would say I have great respect for all the parents, but especially Chinese and Oriental parents. They do everything for their kids. They live through their kids. It's good and bad, make the kids feel guilty, but as much as I like this, your parents lived their lives. Now this is your life. Don't disrespect them. But if you feel that that's not your cup of tea, just say, Dad, I don't like this. I want to be a painter. I want to be an artist. Nothing is worse than be a lousy engineer or doctor while you're burning the desire of being a world-class painter or a poet or even a mechanic. So that's one. Some people say, oh, I'm here for life experience, fun. I love this university. It's lots of fun. I think it's good to get some work and life experience. But if you're at UBC for fun, that costs lots of money. You're going to pay $500,000 to have fun? Go to Vegas, go to Macau. It's much more fun. You have at least a chance to win. So that's not the main reason. What was the main reason? Tell me. What? 89% of the people said that for that reason. Do you know? Who knows? I have to offer probably chocolate. You get a chocolate because you answer first correctly. What was the number one answer? Very simple. One single word. Why they came to college? Because of what? Money? He said that too. I can share, but how do you make money?
Knowledge.
Knowledge does not bring money.
Global network.
Second?
Global network.
Global network? Good! Stephanie. 89% said, I am here. I just want to get a job. I just want to make a living. I tell my students, and I would continue that, change your vocabulary, change your life. I told them, don't say I want to get a job. Say I want to build a lifetime career. Don't say I want to make a living. Say I want to design a life. But truly, they want to get a job. You know, they want to build a career. Here is UBC. 12,000 students graduated this year. 12,000. This is one of the top universities in China. Same, 15,000. Do you think everyone get a job? Well, the answer is no, obviously. Graduation does not mean get a job. It used to about 30 years ago. 30 years ago, you get a degree from UBC or any top university or your university. You just apply, you get a job. But today, the narrative is very different. And there's a reason for it. We want to discover that reason. So, you want to get a job, yes. You want to have to work for Apple, Amazon, Tencent, Huawei, Tesla. You want to end up here, or hundreds of companies that you have a good future. But truly, I want to show you some disturbing key statistics. And these are legit. So 63% of high school students, they come to university. 63%. For that goal, that dream of getting a job. Good. If you sell them this contract, you will get a job. But the problem is 50% of the graduates from university, they are underemployed. What does underemployed mean?
You're overqualified for the job.
Bravo. It's not unemployed, you are underemployed. I got a PhD, I'm just working as a technician. I got a master, but I just do something that someone with a high school diploma can do. Why? Why is that the reason? Anyone, tell me. I want 2 chocolates for that. I want to say that. Why? Why these days people are underemployed? Can you tell me why? Why Tesla doesn't hire me? I got a degree in robotics. Why not? Bruce, why? There's a specific reason. Stephanie, why? Pearl, what are you doing? Why? Why? I don't know your name because it's the wrong way, but that's okay. Zara, why? Why Zara? Why I don't get a job? I'm a good guy. I got a degree.
High competition.
Say again?
High competition.
High competition. Okay? Well, why? I mean, there's something else. You get a degree from top university in this country. Not many people can compete with you. Let me continue and then we get back here. 43% of college graduates are underemployed in the first job. I'm trying to give you a little hint. First job, underemployed. Why? Next. Unemployment is the highest among graduates. You know why? I got a PhD. I'm not going to work as a technician. What's going to happen to me? In 2 years, I get 0 job. If I can get a job after 2 years of graduation, I'm done. I'm dead. I have to go and distribute newspaper. So these are disturbing. And then 34% in total. So these are all from this reliable source. I have a company. Tesla is mine. Imagine I'm Elon Musk. What do I care? What do I care? Technically, I mean, let's just think out about it. What do I care?
As Elon Musk?
A person who runs a multi-billion-dollar company.
Just money.
Well, bravo, here. Only money. Sorry. I only care about the money. If I hire you, I want you to make money for me. I give you X amount of money, you have to give me X multiplied by something. But I'm sorry, you don't make that profit for me. Why? Because you didn't learn enough in your school that I can use that skills. I have a solution for you. I'm not going to give you the chocolate, I'll give you half of the chocolate. Learn more when you become 2, 3, 4, 5 years. When you become the level I want, I give you the full chocolate. Make sense? Yes or no? I guess not. That's why. And whose fault it is? Is it your fault? It is my fault as an educator. It's my fault as an institution. So we are breaching our contract with our brilliant young minds. So this is important. Graduate, hire me. Now I don't have a job. What can I do? So this is happening every day. And now there's a disturbing statistics. The number of graduate study application increases. If you're in graduate program, or maybe you love research and study, but there is a chance that you couldn't get a job. I, again, taught 22,000 students. If one of my students a week after graduation or a month before asked me, Dr. Taheri, I want to apply for graduate studies. Can you be my reference? I love it. But when he or she applied 3 years later, that raised a question. So 3 years, you went back, forth, you couldn't get a job. And that is sad. And that is because we did not fulfill our promises. So I want to help me with something. Let me introduce Ray and Roy. Ray and Roy both graduated from UBC. Ray GPA was 86%. Roy GPA was 93%. You are in a recruiting team. Which one will you hire? 93? Who said that? 93. Just like that? First of all, you shouldn't do that because you have to look at more factors. I'm going to get back to this. Don't forget, both of them are good students. 86 is pretty good. 96 is very good, much better. But let me get back to that. Here is the transcript. Now I give you more information. Evidence base. Whom will you hire? Ray or Roy? Why? Okay, I get back to you.
Capstone project.
Okay. What else? What's your name? Muhammad Reza, right? Or
No, Mesa.
Mesa. Yeah. Capstone, what else? Did you get a chocolate? You already got a chocolate.
Yeah,
Like, I won't give you a second one. It's not good for you, 2 chocolate. But okay, what else? Mason, go ahead.
Technical communication.
Okay. You're getting somewhere.
Project management is good.
Mason is a point. Ray and Roy, and I'm going to get back to that. Both are good students. But to me, seems Ray is more of an applied guy. Apply means project. Hands-on. He's a better communicator too. You know, the last thing I want is that I hire you and you always have problem with her. I don't want a problem in my company. You need to communicate, conflict resolution, collaborative work, creativity, critical thinking. These are the skills I want. And I think, as you said, Mason Ray made a better choice. But we will get back to that in a second. So I created this machine. And again, I apologize if you are coming in the afternoon session, I have to repeat that, but it's a totally different concept. This is my invention. How many of you guys are in engineering here? 5, right? Or 4 or 5, right? Good. So let me tell you something. In 1800, which was the era of using tools, have you seen this, by the way? You're too young. Have you seen this? No? This is called, maybe your father have seen that, but this is called slide ruler. Slide ruler is something that you can do advanced calculation, invented by brilliant British mathematician, 1683. You want to do log, you do that. Tangent, cotangent, advanced. You know what? If in 1800 you could use this machine, you get a job as an engineer, entry level. Because top engineers don't have time, hire someone, walk with them, and do all the math for them. You get a job using that machine. But guess what? Nobody's going to give you a job today because they have calculator. Who's going to give me a job using a slide ruler? Nobody. That time passed. Knowledge-based time. In 50s, you could get a job because you are pretty smart and you have good knowledge of basic science. You are a walking encyclopedia. The yield strength of carbon is still 4.5 gigapascal. What is conversion of this to that? You can know all the answers. Who's going to give you a job today? People use Google or Baidu. Nobody's going to give me a job to know the answer. I just Google it. That time is past. So, time for advanced concept. Yes, in 70s you could get a job because you're so good in all these advanced concepts. But today, the quantum computing is coming soon. One of these babies are about 100 million, billion, trillion times better than human. 100 million, billion, trillion. Do the math, 10 to the power 28. Crazy. So nobody's going to give me a job because I can do some math. Let's go forward. In 90s, the time of the computer, softwares. So that was the time I was in university. At that time, if you graduate, you know how to use AutoCAD, you get a job. But today, I'm telling you something, kids with 0 degree better than advanced professors. I'm so proud and a little ashamed that many of my 600 students, they become better than me in drawings. They spend they wire differently. I'm a coach. I can run as fast as them. They run faster than me. So if someone's supposed to hire me and them, they will hire them because they're more productive. So it's not about this. So let me think. It's not about the tools. It's not about the knowledge. It's not about computation and concept. It's not about using software. What is it about? Why today you get a job? Why? What is it? Anyone? What is the very, very important? Of course, you need a degree. But what else? I mean, not necessarily you need a degree, but having a degree definitely is an asset. But what else do you need? Second? Experience, you won't be able to get that experience unless you have a job, right? But just to get your job, what other skills? Employer. Second?
Updating the knowledge regularly.
Okay, yeah, updating the knowledge, that's fair. You know, like some professions, like doctors or engineers or nurses, you have to do always updating. But, you know, to be more specific, this is the one that you need. Problem-solving skills, cognitive understanding. If Mason comes to my company and doesn't know that software, he can learn in 2 weeks. But if Mason doesn't know how to do problem solving, I can't teach in 2 weeks. Maybe it takes 2 lifetimes. So that is what we need. And we need problem solving skills. That's one. And the next one is soft skills. We talk about that. You know, personalities, personal communication, conflict resolution, teamwork. So these are the skills that they need for me to become a part of their team. So we need to talk about these skills and how we can today talk about it and develop it. I need someone in my company that if the problem happens, don't run away. Stop it from propagating. I don't want another Gulf of Mexico. British Petroleum doesn't need it. I need someone to stop it. That person is the one I need in my team. And this is what you need to work on as a student. And you need to help your students to learn as an instructor and professor. So, you're right, Mason. I will hire Ray. Thanks God, I have a job. So, look at these. Engineering design, technical communication, engineering design 2, technical communication. In all of these key courses, Ray is better than Roy. It seems Ray knows how to have an exam. Maybe he's smart in exam way. Maybe he has a good memorization skills. But when it comes to apply it, when it comes to communicate it, when it comes to be a part of the team, he's good, but not relatively as good as Ray. I will hire Ray. And I know that Ray can learn. So, it's an example anyway, but I'm just saying that this is important examples. That's why today there are lots of headhunts. You know the headhunting process? They go to hackathon. Have you heard about hackathon? Inventathon? The UBC has one. I'm also a judge in that. So people from all over the world, they come, and then they form a group, and they come, and they are given a problem, one unique problem. They have 24 hours to solve it. They can go to bed and sleep 24 hours, or they can work 24 hours without sleeping. It's a very, very dynamic. Last year was one of the greatest ones that Amazon, Google, Test All come. A high school student, grade 11. He won the competition, $250,000 scholarship. The boy hasn't finished high school yet. Amazon said, listen, my son, you finished the high school, go any university in the world you want to go. If we pay you, come and work 5 years for us. That's the greatest investment, better than Bitcoin. Because that boy or girl can create the next revolutionary invention. So this is the important thing. So we need that. NASA, for example, has hackathon. So this was in 2022. We sent some students there. I mean, they didn't win, but these are all brilliant young minds. These are the future leaders of industries. Okay, let's talk about those 21st century skills. What do you think the first one is? So I want you to really take it from this 2 hours workshop or lecture, talk, and you want to remember it. I'm not saying it's not important to know the basics and fundamentals. You still have to know how to solve an equation. You still have to know basics very well. But that's not enough. We passed 1800, 1900, 20th century, we are in 21st century. And you need 21st century skills to get a job. So, I call it 4C. Remember that? 4C. What are these 4 C's stand for? Communication, collaboration, critical thinking, and what is the next? Creativity. So I want you to just think about it. Those 4 C. Those are 4 C that if you have it in your pocket, and of course, in your right pocket, in your left pocket you have a degree. You take it out, you can buy any job. And I really encourage you to work on that. Let's go and kind of dissect them one by one. So the main focus obviously should be in collaboration, communication, creativity, and critical thinking. These are the essential skills. You need that for solving complex problems that we have today. You see, we are dealing with complex problems. This problem did not exist 50 years ago, 100 years ago. Today, they exist. You want to deal with that? You need to have these skills. So let me go through one by one. And you can read it, by the way, anyway. So why communication is important? Why, Mason?
When you want to solve a problem, you need a team, so you need to communicate.
You come up with a solution. Yeah. You need to communicate with her. So communication is very essential. But of course, we need a coherent communication. We need to be crystal clear. I tell my students, part of your problem sometimes is that you have it right there, but you cannot put it here or in writing. So you need to convey it. A good communicator convey his, her feeling, emotion, idea, concept, innovation to others. Okay? And I broke it to pieces here. So obviously, communicate. You can use digital media these days. Talk about AI later. You can share information. You are in a group. You want to share what you find with Edwin. So it's important to be able to do it. What is the best practice for doing this? Can I stay home and communicate with myself? Oh, it's a good idea to communicate with yourself. You have to start. But what is the best way?
Engaging in projects.
Correct. You work in a group from day one. And I think everywhere is that, but like in North America, great 1 or 2, they have projects. They work. They express their feeling. They sometimes express their frustration. So these are important. You need to, I'm just saying that if you are instructor, try to offer chances for them to communicate to each other. If you are students and you don't have that chance, hey, you build your own team. You want to work an assignment? That's a project. The project is finished material science, chapter 5, assignments, diffusion. Then 6 of you get together. 1 will be the leader. You assign. You 2 work on that project problem. You two. And then you get all the information. And then someone has to modify them. That's the project. You create your own project. Trust me, it's like swimming. You need to jump in the water to learn. By testing the water, you'll never be able to swim. So remember that. And I feel students, when they do it, they like it. Some of them are, it's a matter of personality. I'll tell you a story later on. Some people are shy. They are introverts. Well, if you're introvert and shy, I have a good news and bad news. The bad news is, if you don't try to help yourself, you will end up to be always shy. The good news is, it's very easy. Just get out once. You deal with people that you are comfortable, your friends. And then you go 1 step and deal with the strangers. And then you can say, that's it. It's so easy. I didn't know I can do it. So that is in your hand. I also fully emphasize that if you want to change your life, you change your dictionary, your vocabulary. Words are very powerful. Like I have a younger girl and someone says, I hate. I said, don't say use hate. Say don't like. Don't say I hate broccoli, because you may like broccoli in 2 years. Or maybe you get some illness, you need only eat broccoli. Say I don't like it. I don't like means I can change my mind. I don't like Ferrari, tomorrow I like Ferrari. But hate means it's a deep, very profound feeling. So change your vocabulary. I'll give you an example. Look at these ones. So very, very simple, by the way, it's not much. So you call it, don't say for profit. Say for impact. Of course, impact could be financial and non-financial. When it says for the profit, it means only for me, money, 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 money. Yes, that's the name of the game. And even those who are using it only for money say impact. So it's very powerful. Appointment. What is the difference between appointment and visit? Can you tell me?
Appointment is formal.
Say again?
Appointment is formal.
Formal, yeah. But visit is?
Generally.
Yeah. Something else. You're in right track, Zara. What else? Jessica. Appointment, visit.
Like appointment is to like formal, but visit is like I talk with
She said that, but
like visit is to we just talk about something very
something very hidden. Someone else. Pinky. The difference. Appointment. Visit.
The appointment is more formal.
Well, she said that. Appointment means I must go. I'm obligated. I'm dictated by that. I have an appointment with the doctor. Can I not go? No, I have to go. The doctor has the power. Visit means, although I have to go, but it's my choice. The brain doesn't recognize these things. Brain is a very finicky. That's one of the problems with the AI, because we don't know AI because it's replicating our brain. If we don't know our brain, how we know AI? So visit means I have the degree of freedom. Appointment means I have been dictated to do something. And, last but not least, so talk about the money, I call it about opportunity. So language, and this is a very brilliant man, by the way, has a book. Language shapes our behavior, and each word we use is embodied with magnitude of personal feeling, hate, dislike, or different. The right words spoken in the right way can bring you love, money, respect, success, whatever you call it. While the wrong words, or even the right word in a wrong way, in a wrong time, could create conflicts, war, disaster. So we must carefully orchestrate our speech if we want to achieve our goals and we want to bring our dreams to fruition. His book, you should read this book. So 12 strategy, how to actually build trust, resolve conflict, and increase even personal intimacy. So this is an amazing book. There's another one, got. Pretty much same in English. I got to go to gym. I get to go to gym. I got to wake up at 6. I get up at 6. See the difference? I got means I'm imposed to. I got to go to gym. I get to go to gym. See? The brain does not recognize. You train your brain. You cheat your brain. The vocabulary you're using has significant amount of power. You don't know. You know why you don't know? Because it is in your engram, in your brain when you were 2 years old. So your mom and dad said, got to clean your room. Means bad. You know the gut is bad. And then you kind of replicate the same thing. Collaboration. well, obviously you know the meaning of the collaboration, but there are some elements involved. You think about when you collaborate, obviously you have to have a common goal. There's no point that you are collaborating and you care about the money, she cares about love, you care about humanity, and you don't care about nothing, for example. So it doesn't work. So you have to have a base. You have to have a common ground. By the way, I'm just telling you this. Remember I told you, Maysam, you go work on assignment number 2? I mean, if someone doesn't want to work on assignment 2, don't drag him or her. You have to have a common goal. You all say, hey, I want to finish assignment 2. You all want? That's the common goal. So if you want to start to collaborating, first thing is a common goal. Goal could be something small or could be something large. But still, with a common goal, this is the glue. This is the ingredients bond everything together. So I have some comment on that. So obviously you want to build it. You do have to demonstrate a very, very deep responsibility, sense of responsibility. So in those projects, there are always students that will say, hey, where should I work? There are 6 others going to work. I'm in the good side of the boat. I'm not going to get sink. Only they got to sink. Well, I have 2 methodology. I tell them there's only one boat. If it sinks, everyone goes down with sharks. And number 2, I have a 360 evaluation. Everyone evaluate everyone. And I had many occasions. The person comes, oh, Taheri, they evaluate me bad. I look at that and says, John, I think 5 people think you are a bad person. You are a bad person. I'm busy. That's my answer. But you tell your students, there's going to be consequences. If you are not a team member, you know, there is no I in the team. There is a reverse me, but I tell them there's no I in a team. If you don't contribute, you get 0. In this course, majority of people who fail are the one who, first of all, they get out from the school of engineering. They're not a good engineer. They're not going to be ever. But most of them are the one who don't participate in the project. And because that's the major part of this course, they're not going to make it. So you should have this sense of, if you want to be a collaborative person, be responsible. Because last time I checked, my day was 24 hours. So as Bruce. So if I expect Bruce work 18 hours, I spend 1 hour, that's unfair to Bruce. And that's what, then Bruce should not let me to do it either. So that's one. So work effectively with a different group of people. So now, here is an interesting concept. You know, collaboration is something cultural. In some cultures, and I have this example, I taught this course. I'm just sharing in a very intimate environment. You know, we're all, you know, good. In 2018, I was invited to go. It is a signature course I teach. I'm the only professor in UBC that taught one course for 17 years. In 122 years, nobody done that. And there are 2 reasons. Number 1, nobody wants to teach that course. It's very complex. First year design. And number 2, I love it. And actually, I'm just about to finish a book about that course, engineering design for everyone. But anyway, so my friends told me that, Ray, these are Canadian students. You know, they're not going to work the same way as Chinese students. They do. Give them a chance. They invited me. I went to NPU, and I offer a 2 months course, more condensed, same, everything the same, except I had about 30-some Chinese students. The first lecture I came, I asked them, can you introduce yourself, everyone? Yes, yes. And there was this young girl, asked, what's your name? And she looked at me and I said, what's your name? I was looking. I said, do you have a name? And she says, Lucy. I said, Lucy, did you get some kind of throat, you know, got some cold or something? And I realized that no, she's extremely shy. She's extremely, extremely introvert. I knew I have a problem. So I actually mentioned her in my book, but anyway. Right after the lecture, they were group, and I already grouped them. I asked group, did the Lucy come to my office? And I told them, group, Lucy is your team captain, effective now. Lucy, you take care of these 5 boys. If any of them don't do a good job, you get failed first of all. If you guys, she doesn't do the good job, you all gonna fail and blame her. Thank you, meeting is over. And that was something very strange happens after that. Lucy went through a transformation, a journey of life. The girl who barely could pronounce her name, her real name was different obviously, toward the end of the lecture, end of the course, I could not stop her from talking, telling her opinion. I said, Lucy, wait. Someone else. No, I said, wait. There is someone else who want to talk. And she becomes such an outspoken person. They didn't win the competition. They become third, actually. I couldn't help. At the end, I asked Lucy, I need to talk to you. And I don't do that very often. But I said to Lucy, I am surprised. Something happens. I taught for 20 years, and you are one of the most peculiar, in a good way. What happens to you? Share it with me, Lucy. And Lucy, gets very emotional. She said that, Dr. Taheri, I grew up in an environment that was told that girls don't talk too much. And, I went to school, and soon I got quiet, and other people thought that I'm stupid because I don't say anything. And I felt, I am stupid. Everyone thinks I'm stupid. And because I felt I'm stupid, I didn't talk. It's a vicious cycle. The day that you made me the team captain, I cried all night. And I said, I am not going to be team captain. That's the last thing on earth I want to be. How can I manage 4 or 5 other guys? But then just about the morning, I made a decision. I told myself, this is do or die, Lucy. If I want to change, that's the only chance I have. And I start to gradually find out I'm not only stupid, I'm very smart. I have a lot to offer. And when I offer that, my group members appreciate it. And now I will never go back. The only regret I have in my life is I wasted 12 years or 13 years of my life to get to this point. Lucy obviously graduated and she did her master's too. I had her in my WeChat. I haven't talked to her for a long time. But, the point I'm getting is this. So if you really want to collaborate, you have to be a good communicator. If you want to be a collaborative person, you do have to follow a common goal. If you want, you have to be responsible. And if you really want to be successful, you have to really understand your team members' culture. So not every culture is the same. And understanding these diverse cultural differences helps you to become a more collaborative person. Everyone is different. Gender, religion, cultural, social, economical, and many other aspects. So be receptive. And of course, critical thinking, everyone knows about the critical thinking, but you think about a critical thinker is a person who actually sees things. When you look at the wall, everyone says white is white. But the critical thinker goes close to the wall. There are lots of dirt in this wall. Oh, I see a crack right there. Oh, I can see that this is not completely straight. This is a critical thinker. A critical thinker sees things that other people don't see. And that is what makes that person a head and shoulder above everyone else. So doesn't matter. Engineering doesn't matter. It could be a social, it could be a historian. But a critical thinker, historian. So that essence you have to develop. So of course, you have to analyze things, you have to webbing, you have to be didactic, you have to extract. These are all reasoned properly. You have to even plan, forecast. The combination of all makes you become a critical thinker. So that is actually an area that AI yet is lacking. Because critical thinker comes from lots of things, including emotion, empathy. It comes from experience, human-centered experience. So still AI is not in that level. So I have few other, obviously you have to analyze complex system and understand how their interconnection perhaps works. So you have to be able to gather. This is something we talk in the afternoon. We are in a very, very historical era in the history of human. We are getting avalanche of information. Many of them are garbage in, garbage out. If you don't have that filter, if you don't have that ability of polarizing it, you're going to lose it. You're just going to go crazy, ballistic. So you do have to be able to gather and filter the relative information. You need to ask important questions. That's, again, aligned with what I will talk about in AI. And last but not least, you do have to make a decision. Decision making is a very important part of to be critical thinker. So if you're critical thinking, is sometimes a simple thing. Do I have to walk or get a bus? You know, I mean, I'm just giving an example. Not that I claim I'm a critical thinker, but I came yesterday 5 o'clock a.m. And as I was in the airport, I mean, I'm a frugal person. I don't want to spend money for no reason. You know, if someone needs the money, I spend. But I check on internet on my phone, and I saw there are two ways of coming to this campus. One is get a bus, 1250. Bus 1250. And it costs, I think, about maybe 150 money, okay, Taiwanese money. But it drops me 14 minutes walk from the campus. I said, well, let's think about that. That's not bad, you know. And then the other one is taking a taxi. Taxi is about 1,700, 2,000. So it's about 17 times more. As I'm just doing this in my head, I thought that bus is a stupid idea. Number one, I'm not from here. I don't know how to communicate. I mean, that's one. Number two, the bus drops me. I can maybe type something. What do I do with my bags? 14 minutes walk. And I didn't even know this guest house. So you make a decision. When you think critically, you have to be able to execute a decision. And that is a very important part of a critical thinker. If you make all the thinking, zero decision, you have not taught anything. Okay? So, and the next one is creativity. So, truly when you create something, so, I mean, something tangible would be interesting, but you don't need to be able, you can create an art, you can write a poem, you can, you know, create a process. It doesn't have to be tangible, but somehow it has to have an effect. And that's important. So you're looking at things from different perspectives that are not really following the same rule, because otherwise someone else created before. So I mean, if it's not created, then it's a new. If it's a created, I can either invent or innovate. So either way, you have to come up with something is outside of the box. I like this word of outside of the box. Let me show you something. What do you see? 9 dots, circles. Help me to connect them with 4 lines. I do it with 5 lines. Look. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do it with 4 lines. This is a very unique example. Connect these 9 circles with 4 lines without taking, of course, your marker from the glass. Is it possible? I'll give you 1 minute. If you have not seen it, it's good. If you have seen it, just don't say maybe at the end. You will get the chocolate anyway. Is it possible? Statistically, 95% of humans, they can't do it. Come on. I'll give you maybe a break, 2 minutes. Can you connect these dots with 4 lines? Bruce, can you? Can you, Stephanie? Can you? Yes, no. Pearl, no? Can you? Karen, can you connect them? Why the majority of humans can't do it? Because they don't think outside of the box. Actually, I did something bad. By drawing that, I dictate you is inside the box. That's the whole thing. By showing you the answer for 5 lines, I made you believe there is a solution inside the box. The truth is there is none. See? I did it because I look outside of the box. Correct? Look at that. I have another example tonight, this afternoon, that you will flip your noodles, how amazing it is. Okay, so you have to create something. And again, create new and worthwhile ideas. You elaborate, refine, analyze, evaluate, your ideas in order to improve and maximize something. Act on creative ideas to make a tangible, not necessarily tangible, but in my course I tell them, you have to come with a prototype. I need touch it. I need, if this is doing a job, useful contribution to the field in which the innovation will occur. Okay? So, you can Google that, but remember those C, 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 C. If you want to get a job, focus on C, 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 C. Those are the most important thing. You know what? You're all young, brilliant, full of energy. Sky is your limit. Do you believe that? Truly, sky is your limit. But many of you won't get to your limit. Hopefully all of you get, but statistically, many. Why? What is the number one reason you don't get to your full potential? I want an answer for this question. Number one reason people don't get to their full potential. What is number one things that hold me back to fulfill my dream? What is it? Loud and clear, Stephanie?
You don't believe yourself.
You don't believe. Believe is, I like that. That's very philosophical, Did you get a chocolate? No? Then you got one. But it was not the answer I was looking. But believe, okay? But, okay, let's continue with believe. But what else? Imagine I'm here in front of you and I want to lift a weight. And about 22 people are looking at me. And I do like this and I drop it. Why? Second? Okay, that's good, yeah. But what makes me not become confident? Nervous. I like that. Zara, fear of what?
Fear of failure.
Fear of failure. Fear of failure is number one killer of all our dreams. Yes, I have more chocolate. You want to get it? No, I'm just kidding. Fear of failure. And think, failure killed more dreams than anything else. Because if I don't do it because I'm afraid, you look at me and say, you think he can do it? He can't do it. You laugh at me. You ridicule me. You mock me. That is why I don't do it. I tell my students, and again, fear kills more dreams than actually the failure itself. In fact, failure is not bad. Failure is good. You know what I tell my students? And of course, because of others, people often accomplish things on their own because they're not afraid. Okay, if you, for example, rock climbers, sometimes they go all by themselves. That's what, because they're a very lonely wolf. But when you go with others, you're afraid you fail, and they judge you, and then you don't do it, and then, of course, you won't accomplish. So, this is an amazing book. Fail fast, fail often. I call it fail fast, fail often, fail cheap, fail forward. So I tell my students, fail. As early as you can, fail, but improve. So here is fail fast, fail early, fail forward. Fail fast, you don't need to wait for everything. Oh, I need my shoes and everything and best moment. Just try it. You drop it, do it again. If you wait for the best moment, maybe never comes. You know what is the best moment? The time that you feel is good. If you want to make an omelet, you have to crack a few eggs. That's the name of the game. Next, fail often. So don't let the failure itself stop you from trying it again. The more you fail, the more you feel comfortable. Your fear is going to dissipate. And last but not least, when you fail, don't say, I failed. Try it again. Failure is the stepping stone to success. Trust me, the best, most top athlete in the world, they fail more than the one who actually hit the ball the first time. But if they succeed the first few times, they will never reach the next level. But when you keep failing and you learn from your failing, the sky is going to be your limit. You see this one? Most of the people think that the smart people did this. Either you're right or wrong. You go path 1, fail, done, end of the life. Path 2, you win. But those who really succeed, that was their model. Fail, 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 and make it. I have many, many examples. I was actually in the plane last night, 2 nights ago, and there was this young girl next to me was playing Angry Bird. You know Angry Bird, the game? The designer of Angry Bird designed 31 other games. All of them were useless. His colleague told him that, hey, you are not a game maker. 31 times you failed. But he tried again and made one of the most lucrative games in the history of gaming. So, but I have other examples for you too. So see the comparison? So I want you to be the guy, the person on your right. This is Elon Musk style. You know how many times he failed, by the way? So you don't know, you read his memoir. So we learn from failure, not from our success. Failure could be your best mentor, as long as you don't feel heartbroken. Failure is your best master, as long as the fear of failure would not stop you from trying again. So, this is amazing. I have not failed. I just found 10,000 ways it doesn't work. I have some examples. The next 2 examples, if it does not motivate you, I don't think anything can. So, example 1, KFC. You know KFC? Everyone does. KFC is #1 franchise in the planet. 31,000 locations. They have KFC in aircraft carrier. Imagine how big they are. You know who made KFC? The guy name, you know? Have you heard about this guy? Colonel Sanders? I'm sure you have seen the guy with the beard. I give you his story. He was born in 1889, I believe, and died in 1980. Colonel Sanders was born in a farmer family. Mother was working in a tomato factory. Father died when he was 7 years old. Got 2 sisters. younger sisters. He finished grade 3. He had to quit education and went to work. So he never got high school diploma. At the age of 16, he forged his date of birth to get through army. And he became a mechanic, not by academic, by trade. And he worked several years there. But he had passion for cooking. And he developed something is called a secret recipe. So he said, well, I'm going to get out. Age of 53. 53 years old man, with very little money, zero education, and a secret recipe for chicken. Are you kidding me? He said, I'm going to make it. So he started a chicken shop next to an Italian restaurant. A week later, they went to a fight, and the guy shot him in his stomach. He went to hospital for 2 years. Now imagine the first week, you got shot. Okay, you collect some money, and about 5 years later, he built a motel, small, tiny motel, because it has a restaurant underneath. A year and a half later, a tornado came and leveled down the motel. Oh, now it's pretty tough. Zero money now. 58 years old man with only one thing, a chicken recipe. You know what he did? He wore that famous white dress with a nice old colonel bow tie. He went to the first store making chicken. He said, listen, my friend, I know you make good chicken, but I make a better chicken. I give you my recipe, and you give me a little bit of your profit. You know what was the first answer? Your brain is fried. I don't need your recipe, you old man. Get lost or I'll call police. How many of us will give up in the first five stores? How about 10? How about 20? You know how many places you went? Make a guess. How many? Give me a number. Young.
80.
80, Mohsen? No.
81.
81. No. He went to 4 states, hitchhiking. 1001 store he went. 1001 store, and everyone say, you know what? If you were young, I would have beat you up. But then he went to 1002, met this guy, Dale Hartman. And he said, hey, what do I lose? My business is down. And he made the history. He sold his business for $20 million only, and it was very sad. But anyway, because one man believed with zero, absolutely the most disastrous, disappointing situation, one man believed in himself. That's example 1. You want example 2? I said that because I know this guy. I met this guy. You know FedEx? FedEx Express. Do you know the name of the owner? No. Fred Smith. He's still alive. His name is Fred Smith. This man. About 50 years ago, he was in Yale University. You know Yale, right? There's a center of the business of the world. He was doing his master's in business. They're saying that he was very polite, a well-groomed person. When it comes to his thesis, he wrote his thesis on overnight shipping. Ship something overnight. Well, you work on your thesis, this is your idea, you write it down, and it comes to defend his thesis in front of 6 business professors in Yale University. You know what happens? They barely passed him. 2 of them says they failed. The other 3 say, hey, just a nice guy. Let's give him C-, the lowest. How many of you would have said that? That was a stupid idea. I mean, these guys know better than me. They are in Yale. They are professors. But you know what Fred Smith said when he left? He said, They didn't get it. They didn't get it. Fred Smith sold everything he had and started his company, Federal Express. FedEx is the name that they changed it. Federal Express. With $20,000 and lots of debt. The first day of operation, they got only 12 packages. 6 of them from them to themselves. How many of you guys throw the towel? Come on. It's a bad idea. The Yale guy said bad, but I didn't get it. Now I believe it. You know what he said? He said, congratulations to everyone in his team. The only problem we have is that we have to increase the numbers. Today, Federal Express, they have aircrafts. They have billions of dollars assets because one man did not believe in failure. That is very, very admirable. So I just want to talk a little bit about a cycle that everyone, it doesn't matter you are engineering or art or science, you have to learn to do it. And I have a couple of videos, and we hopefully wrap it up within the next 20 minutes. If you are tired, wait a little bit longer. I slept about 6 hours last 72 hours. But that's okay. I love the energy here, and I feel exuberant. So design thinking, this is what I actually do. I mean, it's a very complex process. And often, lots of faculties, oh, I teach projects, but they don't follow this. That's why the project is not going to be successful. So it's a 5-step process. So it has all those elements involved. But the steps are, you empathize first, you define the problem, you ideate, brainstorm, you prototype, and you evaluate. So why it looks like a loop? Well, I evaluated, I'm happy. Should I finish the project? In reality, in my course, yes, you finish the project, go next year. But when Mercedes stopped to making better cars? Never. Because that's the job they do. So it is a complete loop. So you never finish that. So you continue doing that. So it's interesting. This is a better chart. It's a very fundamental. I'm not going to spend too much time. Maybe when we talk about the in afternoon. So the most important thing is to empathize. What does empathize mean? Can someone help me? The word empathize in English. Okay. What about sympathize? We have sympathize. We have empathize. What is the difference? That's another $1 million word. Empathize, sympathize. What is the difference? Mohsen.
Sympathy means you share your feeling with others.
Okay.
You know, share your feelings
and sympathize.
Try to.
But how about empathize?
I have no idea about the
empathize. Anyone here? Stephanie? That's correct. Can you say it one more time loud and clear? You did better than me, actually, okay?
Sympathize means that sometimes you're feeling sorry for someone, or you're looking from another, sometimes higher perspective. But if empathy means that you feel the same way as others, you resonate with them. Very good, well said. I'll give an example. Mason said, I have a dog. It just died last week. Oh, I'm so sorry, Mason. Do you have a chocolate? That means, I'm sorry, but I don't care. I'll go, whatever. Empathy means, your cat died. Oh, mine too. Give me a hug. That's empathy. If you become a good design thinker, you work on your empathy. 90% of the failure is because we think we know the problem, but we don't, because we don't empathize with those who have a problem. Do you want to solve a problem for people in Sudan that they don't have hot water or cold water or anything? Go to Sudan.
and see how they live. And I guarantee you come back and you solve something. So that's the number one. When you empathize, then you define. If you don't have empathy, you define wrongly, you are done. You already went to wrong direction. Good thing can always come back. Defining is the most important part. And then you do ideation, brainstorming, develop it, more. And then you pick the best one. And then, of course, the best one you prototype. Most is not the best one you prototype it. You improve your prototype by evaluation. It's good to go from here to here, or from here to here, or even from here to here. But if you go from here all the way to here, you wasted complete your time. Because you didn't have empathy, you define it wrong, you actually have a wrong idea, you build the wrong idea, you evaluate it, everything is wrong. So I want you always think about that empathy as a designer, as a student, as a professor. You know, this is an interesting. A good researcher or a research become like this. As you go further, you get more clarity. If it's a straight line, you learn nothing. Nothing is being added to your knowledge. In fact, a stage of confusion is one of the best stages to be if you can get out of it. Right? So that's important. I have an interesting video.
Design thinking is a 5-step process to come
From Stanford University.
ideas that solve real problems for a particular group of people. The process is taught in top design and business schools around the world. It has brought many businesses lots of happy customers and helped entrepreneurs from all around the world to solve problems with innovative new solutions. Step 1. Empathize. The purpose of step 1 is to conduct interviews that give you an idea about what people really care about. We need to empathize with the situation. For example, if you want to help old people, you might find that they want to keep the ability to walk around. In your conversations, they might share with you different ways they can do that. Later into the interview, you'll want to dig a little deeper, look for personal stories or situations where things became difficult. Ideally, you redo the process with many people with the same problem. Step 2. Define the problem. Looking at the interviews, you can now understand the actual needs that people are trying to fulfill with certain activities. One way to do that is to underline the verbs or activities that the people mention when talking about their
Action
problems,
verbs.
like going for a walk, meeting old friends for tea, or simply going grocery shopping around the corner store. You might realize it's not so much about going out, but more about staying in touch. After your analysis, formulate a problem statement. Some elderly are afraid to be lonely. They want to stay connected. Step 3. Ideate. Now focus only on the problem statement and come up with ideas that solve the problem. The point is not to get a perfect idea, but rather
Unbiased.
with many ideas, like unique virtual reality experiences, senior-friendly hoverboards, or a modified pushcart. Whatever it is, sketch up your best ideas and show them to the people you are trying to help, so you can get their feedback. Step 4. Prototype. Now take a moment to reflect on what you have learned from your conversations about the different ideas. Ask yourself, how does your idea fit in the context of people's actual lives? Your solution could be a combination of a new idea and what is already being used. Then connect the dots. Sketch up your final solution Let's go build a real prototype that's just good enough to be tested. Step 5. Test. Now test your prototype with actual users. Don't defend your idea in case people don't like it. The point is to learn what works and what didn't. So any feedback is great. Then go back to ideation or prototyping and apply your learning. Repeat the process until you have a prototype that works and solves the real problem. Now you are ready to change the world or open shop. To experience design.
So I want to ask you one thing. What was the most important in this design? Something is said that. I want to see who pay attention. Obviously, there's a problem. The problem is older people. They want to be more mobile, right? That's the thing. But is that the problem? Is the mobility the problem?
No.
What is the problem?
Communication with others, to be in contact with others.
That's the problem. If you ask people, what do you want? 9 out of 10, they don't know what they want. Old people, they don't need to walk. They need to be in contact with others. Hey, maybe they don't need a vehicle. They need a website with a camera, very easy, press a button, Zoom opens, call the grandson, they come in a pic. That's all they need. See, the problem is that this is the main problem of many engineering design, and there have been tons of failures in a world-class level, is because the designer design based on their own experience. I'm not old. I can walk. I can feel how an elderly does. So you remember that. You designing something to solve the problem of someone else. Mercedes does not design a car for the designers. Designed for 8 billion other people. So remember that. So again, this is the summary of that course I taught in Xi'an. By the way, I'll bring 25 of my students 2 months to Xi'an of UBC. And I was talking to the vice presidents of this wonderful university. I actually want to propose that the year after, or in 2 years, we bring 25 of our students to your campus. And then 25 of them come here, and 25 of your students amalgamate. So that's how we would like to promote the global network. So I taught this course in Xi'an, and this was the group of people. This girl was Lucy. I remember her very clearly. So we have 2 groups. Like the first time, I told them, form a table like this. They said, should I turn my back to you? This is not impolite. I said, no, do it. So there's lots of cultural barriers, you know. But they all overcome the barriers. And it was tough. One more thing I said that the dean of this college, very important person, invited me, and I said that I come in under 2 conditions. Condition 1 is we must have, and I would reiterate in next session in the afternoon, we must have a public presentation. He said, what do you mean? I said, that's what I mean. TV, local newspaper, and I need 4 of other deans, including you, should come as a judge. I said, well, I can't. I said, okay, I'm not coming. I said, okay, I can do that. And then I said, next thing, they have a maker space. You know, we will talk maybe later on about makerspace. And I went there, and actually it's pretty good. You know, this is top university in China. But I look at the working hours. It said that Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 to 12. I said, what kind of makerspace is this? I need every day, except Sunday, 12 hours a day. So are you crazy? Who's going to come here at 8 o'clock Saturday? I said, that's it. You should. He and I, we are friends. But he said, I do it. I do it to prove you are wrong. Guess what? He was wrong. Students came. They had to hire someone and pay extra money. They came Saturday at 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Other students that came. And now when you go there, it's actually 8 hours every day. That was the culture I changed. So, and I made it like a really. So these are all, like this is the judging preparation. So I told them how to judge and, and then it was an amazing competition. They did almost the same quality as my UBC students. And I proven them that they are no different than any other students. There was really an event. This lady is the associate dean. This is the dean. And actually, she came to UBC as the director of a program. So it was world class. It was in news. It was on TV. That was 2019. And then this gentleman here, this is this guy. Oh, sorry, I haven't gone there. I will show you later. And then after, we had wine and dine. I love that part. This gentleman used to be the president of NPU. And he said, you know what, Ray? Next year, I come and I want to be your TA. I said, well, you're your president. But this gentleman, which is a good friend of mine, Steve, he said that, Ray, I really like that. I want to arrange a talk with you come, and I was leaving in 3 days. He said, in 2 days, because that was Saturday. And I said, and I'm leaving on Tuesday. He said, can you give a talk to all the government, official of province of Sanxi? I can get them about makerspace. And I did. And then we had these events. And they loved it. They loved it about the makerspace. It went very well. They wanted us to build several hundred makerspace. But unfortunately, right after this, a few months later, the COVID hit. And they went all to lockdown. But anyway, what I'm trying to say that there is no difference between these days, the culture maybe become very diluted. People all look the same. People in Iran or in Japan or Canada or everywhere else, they have the same integrity. Because they watch the same news, same music, same movie, and they're all speaking mostly good English. So I'm just going to give you the last bit of the tip. And that's the tip for you if you want to be successful in your career. So don't underestimate the value of internship. Internship is very, very important. But go where you like to work with. If someone says that I'm going to give you half of the salary of the other person, but you like that job, you go. Even as a volunteer, even you pay from your pocket, you go. Because this is priceless experience you get. You need that in your resume. Don't forget, soft skills are transferable. So you can transfer the experience you learn as a good manager in a gas station, same experience to become the CEO of a world-class company. In fact, many of these top world-class, Bill Gates, where does this, Steve Jobs, so these people, they start from scratch. The Steve Jobs partner sold his calculator to fund the company, $160. It can't be lower than that. How much Apple worth? $4.2 trillion. So that's important. So, of course, your grades are important. Whatever I say didn't mean that don't go to the classes, don't ace the courses, don't learn the fundamental, don't learn the theory. These are important. But of course, you're having them, you have to build your resume. You must have a solid resume. Your resume is a living part of you, is a footprint of who you are. Don't fluff it. Be truthful, but don't be shy to sell yourself. Be a good salesman. And last but not least, 3B. Be punctual. That's for you, Mohsen. I'm just kidding. Be punctual. Like I'm just giving, again, I truly was not, I send Yulan, I send you a The 4:15 said that thank you for this picture. But anyway, but I didn't sleep, but that's okay. I woke up, I had a nap for 15 or 20 minutes. 6:30, I got out from my dormitory. You know why? I thought, okay, what if I go and get lost? So I went to get a little breakfast, and then actually I got lost. I came to this building from wrong door. And it's kind of like a maze. Imagine I would have got lost. I would have come late. It would have been embarrassing. You would have said that, well, this guy from Canada came half an hour late. That doesn't say much about my character. So be punctual, always. Be confident. Confidence, you're right, Jessica. Confidence is the number one. You know, you can make it. Fred Smith was confident. Colonel Sanders was confident. You must be confident because you are smart, you are determined, you came to this room for a reason. And last but not least, accept who you are, be yourself. You know, I tell you something, in our lives, there are many decisions have been already made for us. We didn't choose when we born or where we born. We didn't choose our parents. Some of these decisions are made by, call it God, nature, universe. But there is one decision. We don't know when we die, also. What we do from the time we born, from time to die, is in our hand. You know, we all come with deficits. I give you one more example. I do martial art. I used to do professionally. And I read the story of all. One of my favorite martial artists is Bruce Lee. You know, he was an actor, but I'm sure you're too young, but some of you know it. Bruce Lee was from Hong Kong. You should watch. He's extremely, extremely talented. But not many people know that Bruce Lee's left leg was 1/8 of an inch shorter than the other one. And he walks kind of like funny like this. And always wearing high heels sometimes, you know. Bruce Lee went to do martial art. The master says, you are technically crooked. How can you defeat others? Bruce Lee said that I had this disability, very invisible. But I said, you know what I did? That became my best technique. Because other people, they kicked the punching bag 50 times. I did 500 times. I took that small scratch on my body and create an unbreakable character. So that is what you should think. If you're not perfect, be yourself, accept who you are. If you don't like something about yourself, try to change it. If you can't, live with it. So these are the things I would like to share with you. Well, this is just all I have for this part. I don't mind you share with me what you think. You know, I really appreciate the fact that you came, and I'm here to hear your story, and I'm here to exchange what you have to contribute for my next, for example, similar workshop in 3 days, because I always make it better. So I improve every day because I meet people like you, and everyone is a book, and I love to read books because I want to know the author of my own book, which I haven't found yet, should have the same, kind of personalities. So, anything you want to add? What do you think? Do you think these C are important? Very important. And, you know, you should think about, I don't know you personally, obviously, maybe later on, but I guarantee that you are the top 2% in this planet, statistically. Why? Well, here is 2.5 billion people in this planet. They're hungry. I don't think you are hungry, right? That's good. Roughly around 1.5 billion are homeless or without shelter. About 1 billion are without clean water. 2 other billions, they don't have enough health care support. Right now, you are top 5%, you know? And then you think about, you are in top universities. You are graduate students or undergrad, and you have obviously family support. So you should feel that I am being blessed by nature, by my work, or anything else. God has been, call it God or whatever, universe has been so merciful to you. You have great power in your hand. What does come with the great power? Say again? Great power comes with a great responsibility. That's from Spider-Man, don't forget. But true. So there are people that don't have your voice and your choice. The voice and choice are those who don't have it. Go get a good job and make $1 million a year. But don't forget about, there are people that they make $1.50 a day. And I travel to those countries often. And you know what is sad? In those countries that the people make $1.50 a day, a can of Coke is 50 cents. It's amazing, right? So we live in a very, you guys are very blessed. So make sure you contribute. You're young, by your effort to become more educated and try to come up with a solution for existing problems. I always tell my students, culture is change. When there is a problem, you have two positions. Position one, you be a part of solution. Position two, don't do nothing and become a part of the problem. If you don't do anything, you are a part of the problem. If you do something, you try to be a part of the solution. Okay, maybe a 5 minutes break before we start the next lecture.